Hey everybody, this is Bloba coming at you with another Kindred Fates video. This time we're going to be talking about the kinfolk we have likely seen the most of outside the alpha, Kainite. To get things started, I wanted to talk about how Kainite might play. With what we have seen of the moves, looks like Kainite's move pool will be a mix between the Lumala style of ranged attacking. If we go so far as to even see him have like a fire ray similar to Lumala's angelic ray, and Ember's more aggressive, high damage moves. I think the range and speed of Lumala, combined with the aggressive moveset of Ember, could really make Kainite a force to be reckoned with. With that being said, let's talk about how Kainite might match up versus the roster of the current kinfolk. First off, we have to assume Kainite's speed will come at the cost of damage and health, so putting them in a much less tanky position than Ember and without Lumala's healing ray. This could mean that they'll likely need to be more careful when engaging opponent than either of the others. To start things off, let's see how Kainite might match up with Skulkin. As it stands, Lumala and Ember are both pretty strong picks versus Skulkin, so I have to think that with Kainite, he would probably dominate Skulkin. He'd make up for Ember's slow speed and Lumala's more defensive moveset, which is the only real advantage that Skulkin has versus either of those kinfolk. When it comes to Shovelet, I think that like Lumala, Kainite would struggle thanks to Dig and Quicksand. Having something like Scorch could help keep Shovelet at bay and maybe give him a little bit more useful arsenal versus Shovelet than Lumala has, but I'd probably give the advantage to Shovelet in this matchup. Sadly, when we talk about Mekid, Mekid already struggles versus Ember, and the only thing stopping Lumala from being truly strong versus him is a damage over time like Scorch. With speed, range, and burn, I think Mekid could very well see a big disadvantage in any matchup versus Kainite. I think we might even go as far as to say that this could be Kainite's best matchup. Although not far behind would be Kadoki. Kadoki would not stand much of a chance versus Kainite at the current state, as Ember already dominates Kadoki, and Kainite would likely be no different, if not better, thanks to Kainite's speed helping him stay out of range of most of Kadoki's powers and attacks. I think Slifer could give Kainite a run for his money, though. Slifer is not too bad versus Lumala, and if played very well, can even take on Ember. Kainite's speed won't help much against Slifer because Slifer can counter that with his own speed. Overall, I'd say it'd be a real toss-up with this fight. Maybe giving a slight edge to Kainite, if only for the fact that Scorch is a really good counter for Slifer. And now, for the fight of the runners. I think Lumala will have a difficult time with Kainite, as Ember is already a strong kinfolk versus Lumala, and if you can keep up with Lumala's speed and deny them healing, then I think you have a pretty good chance to win this matchup. And last but not least, we have Ember himself. I think that Ember is a good choice for fighting Kainite, as Ember doesn't really struggle with speedy opponents. As we've seen, he's a pretty solid counter for Lumala, and without a heal like Lumala, Kainite would not be able to withstand trading attacks with Ember and running away and healing like Lumala can. And if Kainite decided he wanted to try to get in close for something like Scorch, once again, Ember could just trade Scorches with him and potentially win through just sheer brute force alone. Not to say that Kainite couldn't beat Ember, because Lumala can beat Ember, but I think Ember would likely have at least a small advantage in this matchup. But I think that about covers what I wanted to talk about this time. I ask that you please leave a comment with your thoughts about Kainite, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye, and God bless.